Welcome to Heartland Makes and Outdoors. In today's special edition, Friday edition, in today's video we're going to be going over 5 reasons why we wanted an electric motor for our kayak. We're also going to give you some reasons why we chose the Newport NK300, as well as tell you what the top speed is on the Jackson NAR. So if you're interested in what the actual top speed is with the new NK300, stick around. Let's get to the video. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to introduce myself real quick. My name is Dale and I'll be your host here on Heartland Makes and Outdoors. As the title mentions, we're going to give you 5 reasons why we wanted an electric motor for our kayak. We're going to start out with safety first. If you guys can tell, it's extremely hot. It's been unusually hot here in East Texas, and our summers are typically really warm anywhere. And I understand it's just as hot in almost all the southern states. So it's nothing specific to East Texas, but it is something that I want to start off with. Number one of the main reasons that I wanted an electric motor is for safety. There's been a couple of times in my life where I've started feeling heat exhaustion, and it could happen to you out on the water as well. And I'm telling you, by the time you start feeling it, it's too late, guys. And that's where I think a lot of people don't ever talk about the safety aspects of how a motor could actually potentially save you from severe injury or just maybe even save your life. But if you get up early, yesterday morning I was out on the water by the time the sun come up. By the time I really got done messing around and looked down, it was 12 o'clock, guys. It was already up to 100 degrees. I did take plenty of water with me. I always take the frozen water bottles. I had regular bottles, and then I also had my thermo jug with ice water in it as well. But guys, it could sneak up on you. It snuck up on me out here a couple of years ago when I was working here at the house, and it could happen. But again, it is a nice feeling knowing that, number one, if you get out there somewhere and maybe heat exhaustion sinks in, you could make it back to the boat ramp. And I did a test run yesterday on purpose. I went and paddled for about a mile, or pedaled for about a mile. And I can go about 2.5, 3 miles an hour without killing myself. I'm not Lance Armstrong by any means, but my theory was this: the more you keep pedaling, you're going to continue building up body heat. Now, there's nothing scientific about this. I didn't take a thermobob or any of that with me. But I went out and did about a mile, turned around, and I used the motor to take me the mile back. And it was almost like having air conditioning on, guys. It really was. I wasn't burning up a bunch of energy. I wasn't generating more heat from using my muscles. And it was like a little mini air conditioner. As you guys can probably see right now, there's sweat running off my head. So this is a legit concern for anybody that lives in the southern states, and why I think, number one, the safety aspect alone. Now, secondary to that, I was out on Lake of the Pines maybe 3 weeks ago and a storm blew in. There was 0% chance of rain in the 10-day forecast. I get out there and I thought I heard lightning. In fact, I'm pretty sure I seen some, and then before you know it, the winds picked up. Again, I wasn't too far away, and I was able to pedal back to the boat ramp and get the boat off, get me and the kayak off the water before all the lightning started hitting the lake. But again, anything like that could actually come up. So if you guys are looking for reasons to explain to your wife why you need to spend this money on your next kayak motor, these are just some of the reasons that I've come up with. Again, living out here in East Texas, we've got 5 major lakes that are real close to me. We've got Lake of the Pines, we've got Caddo Lake, we've got Martin Creek, we've got Nakanish, and then Lake Fork is not very far away either. Having a motor on there makes it to where you could actually get to some of these other fishing spots without having to pull your kayak and run to a different boat ramp on the other side of the lake. So again, that's another reason that I wanted one, is it opens up your opportunities to be able to fish a lot larger lakes. And out here where we're at in East Texas, just like everything in Texas is huge. Their bodies of water are no different. Lake Fork is huge. Lake of the Pines is huge. Caddo Lake is actually in 2 different states. It's so big. And that's not even talking about Toledo Bend, which is only an hour south of me as well. And then lastly, you guys know, if you've been watching our channel for a long time, my wife is involved with me in my fishing. She loves to kayak fish, she loves to camp, and she does all that with me. So I thought if we had a motor, it would be really good. Same thing, if something happens to either one of us out on the water, we can actually hold on to each other and motor back to the boat ramp or back to camp or whatever else. So that would be lastly. Now, some of the reasons we went with the Newport NK300. Number one is it's got the quick connect system, and number one of the main reasons we went with the Newport 360 is because you can take it on and off your kayak easily. I'm never going to leave a motor mounted onto the kayak because I think you're asking for trouble, especially when you're in these extreme heats where the plastic could actually deform. Number two is it comes with a really good 3 horsepower motor. And it's a 3 horsepower equivalent motor, which means that it's going to have plenty to pull me, my gear, my weight, and essentially pull my wife as well. That's a lot of motor on an electric motor, especially when you're talking about a kayak. Even a big kayak is still lightweight in the world of boat. Number 4 is it's quiet, efficient, and quick. And then lastly, one of the cool things, and I haven't really used this out on the water, but the new Bluetooth battery that they have with the NK300, if you buy their 36 volt, either the 30 amp hour or the 40 amp hour, there's actually an app that you can connect to your phone and you can be monitoring the usage on the motor. And again, guys, number 5, one of the things that I really like about the Newport NK300, this motor, whether you go with their new battery or not, that 36 volt Bluetooth battery, again, like I say, I haven't really used the Bluetooth part too much yet, but I can tell you just by looking at the control panel, you can tell real quick kind of how well you're using your battery and how much battery you have left. The Bluetooth deal is nice because it gives you some other features like how many times you've charged the battery and some other information which is helpful and which will help you make your battery last longer as well. But that being said, if you guys know, if you've been following along very long, I travel out of state as much as I can. This year we've been on a budget crunch because of everything that's going on, and I haven't been able to travel out of state. But historically, I've always gone to Colorado. I've gone to New Mexico, and I like taking my kayak with me because there's nothing like fishing a new body of water, whether it be some of the lakes, the rivers, or whatever you can find up there in the mountain states when it's a lot cooler up there than the 100 degrees we have here. It's just an added blessing. So with that, if you got up there and something, let's just say something happened, maybe your battery fell out of your truck, who knows, fell off the trailer, I don't know, guys. Accidents happen, life happens, that's why they have insurance. But let's just say that something happened to your battery. If you're way up there and you're using a motor that has a manufacturer specific battery, you're waiting until you can get a new one. Whereas like this Newport, if something happened to the battery and I'm up there somewhere out of state, there's a good chance I could find a 36 volt battery or rig up 3 12 volts into make them a 36 volt and still be out on the water instead of wishing I had a motor. Again, guys, that's just one of the great things that I like about the Newport is you do have the option to use whatever battery. You could actually get this motor and use any battery you want with it, and to me that was a big selling point. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody. We're just a small channel. We're trying to have fun, and hopefully if you guys enjoy this video at all, please share it with some of your other friends because we're trying to grow this channel. I'd like to see this channel hit up over 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't think that's impossible with you guys' help. Now with that said, real quick guys, we are going to tell you what the top speed is on the NK300. Okay, so to be fair and so that everybody understands, the kayak weight is actually 140 pounds. I weigh roughly 200 pounds with my fishing gear on. The motor's roughly 25 pounds. The battery, which is the 30 amp, is roughly 25 pounds. Rods, reels, tackle, anchor, etc. is 30 pounds. I've also got an ice chest with 2 frozen water bottles, 2 regular water bottles that are chilled, and a little thermos, if you will, full of ice water. So my best guess is total weight is 425 pounds with this motor. But actually the best we could do was 6.58 miles an hour, and that's with the weight loaded like we were either doing a fishing trip or a fishing tournament. So that's where we're at, so that you understand how much weight we're pushing. Everybody's boat and the way you have it loaded down will be a little bit different, but that's our general consistency. So the speed we're getting top speed So again, if you like fishing, you like kayak fishing, and if we don't do a lot of bow hunting because it's only 2 weeks out of the year, but if you like trad hunting, I'd love to talk you into sticking around. Join us, join our family as we take you on our adventures. We're going to be fishing Lake of the Pines, Caddo Lake. We're probably going to head over to Lake Fork some this fall too. Guys, we're not quite into the beautiful fall fishing weather yet, but it's not going to be long and it'll be here, and we'd love for you to go along with us. So again, may God bless you and your family, and let's get outside and make something happen.